I need you to stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to tell you is the kind of story that changes the way you see the people closest to you. I walked into my house after a grueling shift at the firm, expecting the quiet comfort of a normal evening. Instead, I found my wife of 7 years, Clara, sitting at the kitchen island with a glass of wine and a cold, detached look in her eyes. Before I could even drop my briefcase, she looked right at me and said, "The marriage was dead." Before we go deeper into this story, take a second and hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and let us know where you're watching from. I'm curious to know how far these stories travel. The coldness in Clara's voice caught me entirely off guard. We had built a life together in the quiet suburbs of Chicago, or so I thought. She told me she had found herself, and that she wanted a clean, uncontested divorce. She claimed we had simply drifted apart, that the spark was gone, and that there was no use fighting for a ghost. I sat there, paralyzed, looking at the woman I had loved since college, wondering how a bond could evaporate so completely without a single warning sign. But by the time I went to bed that night, everything I thought I knew about my family was gone. I couldn't sleep, the silence in our guest room weighing heavily on my chest. Instinctively, I reached for our shared tablet to check the home security logs, thinking maybe the stress was just making me paranoid. That was when I saw the synced cloud accounts. Clara hadn't just fallen out of love. She had been systematically planning her exit for 6 months, and she wasn't doing it alone. And what I found out next, most people can't even bring themselves to say out loud. It wasn't just a random affair. The messages, the shared flight itineraries, the hidden financial transfers, they were all directed to my younger brother, Julian. My own brother, the person I had shared a childhood with, helped put through business school, and trusted implicitly. They were laughing at me in their texts, mocking my work ethic and planning to use the divorce settlement to fund a joint real estate venture in Miami. My blood turned to ice. Clara wasn't just asking for a divorce. She was actively trying to legally bleed me dry while framing herself as the lonely, abandoned wife to our entire social circle. She had already started telling her family and our mutual friends that I was emotionally abusive and obsessed with work. She was destroying my character before the papers were even served, ensuring she would walk away with the house, the savings, and her purity intact. I realized then that playing the grieving, heartbroken husband wouldn't save me. If she wanted to claim the marriage was dead, I had to accept that. But the narrative she was spinning, that was a lie I refused to let live. I decided right then, in the dark of the 2 a.m. moonlight, that I wasn't going to scream, fight, or confront them. Not yet. I needed everything documented, every text, every bank statement, every betrayal. The next morning, I acted completely compliant. I told Clara I understood her perspective and just needed a few weeks to process everything before we signed any paperwork. She smiled, that same sweet, practiced smile that used to make my heart melt, and thanked me for being reasonable. Watching her pretend to grieve the end of our marriage while secretly texting my brother under the table was a masterclass in sociopathy. Over the next 2 weeks, I worked closely with a forensic accountant and a high-profile family lawyer. We uncovered that Clara had quietly funneled over $40,000 from our joint savings into a shell account registered under Julian's name. They thought they were being incredibly clever, leaving just enough in the main accounts to avoid raising immediate red flags during a standard mediation. The fallout was instantaneous and chaotic. Our parents were in absolute shock, my father looking at Julian with a mixture of disgust and profound disappointment. Clara's friends, the very people she had spent weeks priming with lies about my character, looked away in embarrassment. In a matter of 60 seconds, the carefully constructed reputation she had built as the victim was entirely erased. Before we go deeper, I would love to hear your point of view. Tell me what part hit you the hardest in my story and share your thoughts in the comments. Looking back, walking out of that loft while they scrambled to explain the unexplainable was the most liberating moment of my life. They wanted a quiet, calculated betrayal, but they forgot that truth has a funny way of finding the light. In the end, the legal battle was short. Faced with undeniable evidence of financial fraud and marital misconduct, Clara signed a settlement that protected my assets completely. She and Julian left for Florida shortly after, but whispered rumors follow them wherever they go. Thank you so much for watching this journey with me. If you believe that truth and justice always prevail, please give this video a like, leave your thoughts below, and subscribe to Family Secrets and Revenge for more cinematic stories of uncovering the hidden dark side of the people we trust. Until next time, stay vigilant.